The contempt. Judges love, absolutely love, to threaten anybody that gives them shit with contempt of court. So, you know, it tends to make people back down or take a step back or shut up or hold up signs and say, "Can I speak now?" like Robbie York of Ethical Anarchism articulated. You know, brilliant channel, highly recommend it. Mark Stevens or any of those. It's just the Socratic method. Don't accept nothing without evidence. You know, it's that simple. They apply. Sure, I'll accept your claim. Just show me where the evidence is. It's that simple. But anyway, the point I'm saying here is about the contempt of court. I'm going to read you out a little thing I got from a friend of mine, just quickly on the bogus contempt threats, which they all try on in the hopes it will shut you up. An apology always resets the offence. So as soon as you hear the old BS, "I'll charge you with contempt," just immediately respond with "Magistrate," or in this case, "Your Honour," or "Sir." Magistrate, if there's anything that I have done or said that would cause an offence to this court, then I apologise, as this was not my intent. Then immediately and directly ask him or her, "Now why did you threaten me with contempt?" He will know that to threaten as a means of intimidation is dishonourable and vexatious, and can carry serious consequences to him or her. That should silence him or her, but if he or she does it again, you should respond in exactly the same way. Do this 3 times, and then you have nailed him or her by creating an estoppel by silence, and he or she cannot bring it up again in the proceedings without themselves being in contempt. "Don't talk to me like that again, Mr. Keene, or I'll have you in contempt of court and have you detained." Well, Your Honour, if there's anything I've said or done that has caused an offence to this court, then I apologise, as that was not my intent. Now, why did you just threaten me with contempt? Seems simple, eh? I'm going to be mulling this one over the next couple of days. It's the 4th of November, 3 days until the 7th. I emailed Auckland District Court yesterday just to confirm the location, time and place, or date. I've told them 7th November, 10 AM, and asked them if they could please tell me which courtrooms it's at, and also, just for the shits and giggles, I asked them who's the judicial officer, but we don't expect an answer for that one. So they haven't responded. They best take note. If they don't respond, then what I usually do, if I don't drive in and ask them directly, because I don't want to be confrontational, and by responding to my email, guess what? That means you don't even have to sign it and tell me who you are. You can just give me the fucking answer. Alright? But if you don't respond, come Monday, I'll just pick up the phone and I'll ring and I'll ask. And then someone from Auckland District Court will be ended up being recorded and posted on YouTube answering my questions on the phone. So you can either do it through email and keep a little bit of, you know, a little bit of hidden as to who you are. If you don't want to tell me who you are, you really don't have to sign it. You just have to tell me the fucking answer. Or I'll ring up. And then you're going to be recorded and posted on YouTube, because you guys cannot even respond to simple questions. So, yeah. I'm so looking forward to Tuesday morning. I'll be there. A few other people I know may or may not be there too. We'll see. But it would be an extremely bad move, I would think, in my opinion, my humble, you know, what do I know opinion, if Judge Black decided to be the presiding officer. I hope you recuse yourself if you do show up, mate, because you lied. You directly entered a plea on my behalf, not supposedly representing me, and you entered a plea against my direct intent. I'm standing there holding a plea of guilty, unsigned, and you're telling me I'm not willing to enter a plea. You lying sack of shit. Did you not see the fact that I was holding it? Are you blind? Coming up to Auckland, climatising to the need. No, you used to be Dunedin mayor and all, you know. So the fact that you're a mainlander, mate, you actually went up a little peg or two, but you're acting just so sad. You don't want to waste time. You're not going to argue, mate. I wasn't arguing. I'm asking questions. I'm wanting points of clarification. I'm not there to argue. I just like to see facts and evidence. If you can't supply them, dismiss the charge. End of. Vicky Hicks, the prosecutor. If you could supply evidence of jurisdiction, I fucking love it. It'd be really awesome. Look forward to seeing some. Otherwise, I don't see how we can go forward. But if we do, if you guys just want to steamroll and go ahead with the defendant hearing, I am going to have so much fun with your witness on the stand. Keith, my buddy, Mr. Camera Operator, he's not going to like my questions, and I have lots. And I'm sure, instead of Keith sitting in a courtroom, wouldn't it be better if he was sitting in a van, earning $7,000-8,000 minimum an hour, clocking people speeding past him, doing absolutely nothing wrong, for a minor infraction that you guys call criminal? But that's all right. I'm more than happy to keep some guy off of the roads, operating his camera gear, and have him in court, because as the evidence is shown in at least my case, or your case, your allegation against me, which is a joke, 762 times the minimum ticket of $30 is $21,000, people. Have you ever earned a job where you sit there doing absolutely nothing and earn $7,000+ an hour? Because that's what he did. So keeping him on the stand, mate, I'm saving thousands of dollars for everyone else. And at the small price of, even if I lose $30 court costs, less than a movie and a beer. So, whatever, you know, I suggest that you respond to me and you let me know my fucking answers to my questions. And I suggest that you don't try your contempt bullshit with me.
Just something I'd like to add, guys. I'm not going to go ahead and post what the prosecution has finally supplied to me. They, after myself sending now my third request for disclosure and to be fully informed, I actually got a response back from them. I got a brief of evidence from the operator, which has absolutely no mention whatsoever of me in it. So I guess it's just a brief of evidence that he was there that day, just not that I was. You know, his certificate of competency, such a clever man, he got himself a little certificate that says he knows what he's doing. A certificate saying that the radar detector was true and accurate from an authorised person, you know, all of that crap. Of course it would have to be certified, otherwise they wouldn't be allowed to use it. Let's not forget though, was it accurate that day? Was it set up correctly that day? Was there any obstructions? How far away were we? Did the angle of deflection come into it at all? Did he take any measurements to verify what he was doing? Or did he just use a tuning fork? The speed camera deployment register states 6,000 odd people went past him in 3.5 hours. 762 of that were clicked, so that's what, less than 1 in every 10 people that went past him. Now if you divide the 762 that he clicked that day by the 3.5 hours, or call it 210 minutes, then you've roughly got 3 a minute. So he's clicking 1 infringement every 20 seconds for 3.5 hours, earning a grand old minimum amount for the government consolidation fund of just over $21,000 minimum. Now my ticket was $80, but I'm just going on the theory that $30 ticket times 762, you're roughly 21,000. So we'll say, yeah, not bad money, is it? I am curious as to how many people he actually prevented from speeding that day, because we all know the answer to that one is a big fat fucking zero. But he certainly made some money for the government consolidation slush fund, didn't he? And I'll call it revenue because that's what they call it. So, yeah, I've got a Redplex certificate of accuracy for the actual radar equipment itself, as well as someone authorising that it's been tested lately. What else did I get? Yeah, the speed camera deployment register, which tells me all those wonderful figures. I would like to question though, I mean, are those speed camera deployment registers accurate? Have there ever been any errors in them? Because I remember back at the start of the year, I put an Official Information Act request into the police and asked for, I think it was 72 or 73 or how many actual cameras that I had recorded in the last 3.5 years. I asked for every individual speed camera deployment register for those occurrences. And of the amount that I asked for, I was supplied 66. It was roughly 10% they couldn't supply me because they had lost. Of the 66 odd that they supplied me, 5 or 6 had errors in them. And one of them even had the wrong registration plate of the actual vehicle that was there that day. See, I can prove it because I videoed the vehicle that was there that day, and it wasn't the one that was written on the registrar. So there are clearly provable, with evidence, inaccuracies with the deployment registrars. So, you know, did Keith, my old buddy, while he was there that day, because apparently according to his briefing was, did he see me there? Does he have any first-hand knowledge that I was there that day? Because surely, as it's a criminal offence, the police has to prove beyond reasonable doubt, not beyond preponderance, but beyond a reasonable doubt that I was there that day. And if he's clicking one car every 20 seconds, shit, is he going to remember every single one of those people's faces that go past? Now, the still shot showing my car inanimate, which doesn't actually show it speeding, says its recorded speed was 94. 94 what? Am I supposed to guess that one? Is it 94, 94 metres per 3 hours? How is that? I'm not going to assume I know what they're talking about. And just for shits and giggles, I used my photo editor, and I've made 5 other photos absolutely identical to the one they've supplied me. But some of the photos I'm doing 6,161 kilometres, or we'll say kilometres, but it just says 6,161. It doesn't say what it is afterwards. So all of these assumptions need to be clarified. And of course, this is all if the prosecution chooses to go ahead with proving their case. Those are the questions that will be asked. As it stands, I've submitted motions to have the charges dismissed due to lack of subject matter jurisdiction that the prosecution have failed to provide so far. Some might say, well, the laws apply because you're in New Zealand or you were there that day. Was I? Doesn't say anything in Keith's brief of evidence, that which of course he hasn't signed. It doesn't say anything in his brief of evidence that he saw, let alone my property or the registration plate, but me and the charges against me. It's not against the car, is it? So I don't believe there was any injury. There's no corpus delicti, there's no injured party, so kind of fucked there. So yeah, from what the police have provided me so far, there isn't any evidence. It's just a guy saying I was here that day. Great, awesome. Was I? Now I'm not going to say whether I was there or not. I'm not there to testify. Even though the defendant is classed as a witness, I'm not going to self-incriminate or say whether I was there or not. It's not for me to say. It would be for them to prove. The fact that it was a temporary speed area, 80 k's an hour, temporary. Was there any work going on? Did any of the devices nearby being used by the workmen, could any of those affect the accuracy of the device? Has the device ever given an erroneous reading? What is a possible occurrence that would cause an erroneous reading? All questions I'd love to ask. And you might argue, why do it? Well, it's costing $30 court costs for an $80 ticket, maximum $110. Most people would spend that in the night out on the piss, or going away for a good meal. I'm simply enjoying myself, not accepting anything or assuming anything, taking anything for granted. I'm asking them to clarify everything they're saying, which I naturally don't understand because it's in a different language. I wish to be fully informed of the nature and course of the proceedings. How can I possibly make a voluntary, willing and knowing plea without fully being informed? It's real simple. People don't seem to grasp that by entering a plea, well, fuck, you must understand what you're entering a plea about. And it's never explained to you. You're presumed to be a subject without any evidence ever backing that up. And they say it's political. Well, it's political because the only way they govern or gain consent in the first place for most legislative rules to apply is is through registering your person as an elector or voter. Well, if you don't register to be part of the gang, you know, how do those laws apply to you? Some might say, well, you've got a driver's license. Really? You got a witness that saw me signing that back in 1991? I can't recall back then, so I'd be bloody interested to see if someone else can. See anybody with first-hand verifiable knowledge of any of the rubbish they're trying to pull? The answer is no. They need you to believe it. They need you to confess. They need you to just say, yes, thank you, sir, may I have another? Not me. And I do this purely for fun, and in the lines of, it's the principle of the matter. I don't give a fuck if the speeding ticket was for 1 cent. I don't care. I'm not going to accept anything unless there's evidence. I live in a world where I use facts, logic and reason to govern myself. I don't use a belief system. I don't use or bow down to fear and coercion and threats, unless it's my wife, because, you know, hey, fuck mate, she can actually put my balls in a bunch and squeeze them. So yeah, it's really, really that simple. So yeah, I'm not going to show you any of that stuff just yet. I'm thoroughly going to be looking forward to next Tuesday. There's going to be more than just me there. I may have a few people show up, or I may not. As far as filming the ordeal or cameras, I'm not really interested in that this time around, because I'm going to have other people there to witness it firsthand, which a signed sworn affidavit will happily stand as fact, unless it's rebutted. So, you know, the fact that I'm going to have actual witnesses there means I'm not really too bothered about the recording side of things. Yeah, not an issue. Brian did say to me last time, next time you come, you know, just leave your cameras at home. Well, you know, fuck off, mate. Next time you go to bed, give your left ball a scratch a little bit more than the right one. You know, I'll do what I want to do, and you do what you want to do. And as that's a public place and a Bill of Rights apply there, according to the legal advice I've been given, I'll do whatever the fuck I wish. So yeah, anyway, mosey on. It's the 4th today, mosey on 7th of November, obviously with bells on. Catch you then, bye.